In this video, I want to talk to you about how to stop puppy nipping with one of my favorite techniques. Now, first of all, let me say that the type of puppy nipping I'm talking about is playful puppy nipping. I'm talking about just those sharp little teeth, maybe seeing your toes on the floor and then wanting to play with your toes, or they're pulling on your kids' jammies and they start to tug and they think it's a game of tug-of-war and that kind of stuff. The playful stuff, not aggressive types of things where they're trying to hurt your children, but playful puppy nipping. And my favorite technique is a technique that I call the 4-hour dog training session. And while it sounds overwhelming, it's like actually far less work and gets much quicker results than other methods that you will use. You'll see very quick results in just as 4 hours, or even if you only had an hour, but a long period of time, an hour or more. So to explain this method, I think it would be helpful to give you a quick little example of what's going on in your puppy's life. And to do that, I'd like to have you think about the difference between latchkey kids and kids that come home from school or have a mother at home or a father at home who is there. Latchkey kids, they're given the key and they can come in because mom and dad are at work and they get to do whatever they want. And the other kind, mom's home. What kids have more behavior problems? The kids with no parents at home or the kids with parents at home? It's simple, right? The kids that have parents at home are the kids that turn out to be more under control, less likely to do drugs, engage in sexual behaviors, those sorts of things. And the reason, or at least one reason, is that there's somebody there to supervise and correct bad, naughty, inappropriate behavior and prevent it from happening. You see, behavior is self-rewarding or self-punishing, and there's a law when it comes to animal training that a behavior that is reinforced will be more likely to continue, and a behavior that is not reinforced or punished will be less likely to continue. So the problem with nipping that you need to remember is that nipping is fun for the dog. It's playful. We'll go watch a pack of little puppies running around. So not a pack, maybe a litter of puppies it would be called. Play around. They are biting each other. It is fun. Give them a rope. They will tug. It is fun for them to use their mouth and teeth to play. It's just how they're made. And so if you let them have fun, it will make them want to have that kind of fun more often and again. And so what you need to do is you need to break that habit for the dog and be there to supervise the dog so that you can break that cycle and not allow the dog to reward itself, which will become a self-perpetuating behavior and only make the problem worse. So the key to this is supervision. Okay, this is kind of the principle behind the 4-hour technique. So here's how you do it. You need to be there to supervise. You need to be there so that every time the dog makes a bad behavior, what the dog learns is that, you know what, that turned out to make my day less fun, that minute of my day less fun instead of more fun like it used to. And to do this, what you need to do is you need to give your dog what I call mini time outs. So you need to, if you see your dog doing a bad behavior, like he starts to nip on your 2-year-old's jammies, you need to calmly get the dog, not chase the dog. You need to get the dog, collect him, and put him outside and give them a 20-second timeout. It's not a 20-minute timeout where the dog has no idea what it did wrong. It's just a 20-second timeout. Should be long enough where the dog's still staying on the porch, kind of wondering when he gets to come back in, maybe just starts to be like, oh, I'm not going to get back in, and starts to lose hope, and then you let them back in. And if the dog goes right back like it immediately will to go nip on the jammies again or pull on the jammies, that kind of thing, you do it again. And by committing to at least an hour, and preferably longer, of time to continue to do this with your dog, what you notice is he does it, or she does it wrong a handful of times, and it reduces and it becomes less and less and less. So there's a couple of keys to doing this so you don't get kind of overwhelmed and just rely on this as the only thing to do. And the first thing to do is you want to shrink the space that you have to supervise. So what I always do when I have puppies is I first go out on the internet and I search for gates, or you can use your own, or maybe your house has a door, or whatever it is. But you have to have the dog in the same room with you if it's a new puppy, because you go wander around and he goes and chews on your kids' jammies upstairs in their bedroom, and you're not there to stop the behavior. Well, guess what? They just reinforce the behavior. Now they're more likely to do it again. You have to get rid of all access that your dog has to anything outside of your supervision. If you're not there to supervise your dog, it goes in a crate or it goes outside, or something like that, but not just free reign access to your home. So use gates to shrink your space. I recommend, honestly, I like to do this on all Sundays. Every football Sunday that's on, I gate up the room and I sit down and watch a couple of 3-hour football games, and guess who's in that room with me? The dog, when I have a new puppy that we're working on this with, and we just work all Sunday on this drill. Another key is to not actually choose the comfy chair in your room, because the comfy chairs will make you less motivated to get up and enforce the dog. What you do not want to do is say, leave it off 100 different times before you actually get up and go do it. It's called double cueing or triple cueing, or you can't do that. When you say something one time, you have to mean it and go reinforce it. So if you tell your dog off and he doesn't get off, you get up and you put him outside. If he listens to you, great. And if he doesn't, go put him outside. And it's better to do from like a wooden rocking chair than it is from a plush, comfy couch that sucks you in and makes it hard to get out of. So that's another thing, and that's pretty much it. You will notice drastic results, drastic changes. It's not the only reason, by the way, that dogs will nip and do those sorts of things, but it's one of those like quick little golden nuggets that I can give you that will have more help right away. Oh, one more tip is that you want to have a leash on your dog during this process, and that is so that when your dog runs away, your dog's going to realize when you come for him, after you tell him off that he's going to go outside, he's going to start running away from you. That's part of the reason for the gate, so he can't run away and be rewarded and trained to run away from you. And if you've got a 10 or 20 foot leash on him in that one room, then you can grab the leash and the dog realizes, running away really doesn't do me any good, so here I go. And he'll be conditioned to go out and accept his punishment after a short order. Hey, if this kind of stuff is interesting to you, managing your dog's emotions, managing his behavior, I'd like to invite you to a free class we do every week, freedogclass.com. I talk about it a lot all the time, where we talk about managing your dog's emotions for better behavior. Go check out that website. Again, it's freedogclass.com if you're interested in learning more about that kind of thing. If you've already taken it, hey, that's great. But hey, we'll come at you again soon with another video in the near future. Good luck.